Ooh, we got a real treat today. All right. You're used to speaking with Boy Green. You're used to hearing James Wudi talk. But here we are talking to an NFL legend, picking his brain, picking his mind, and seeing what he's been up to. Ooh, I promise you do not want to miss this. Stay tuned for the intro. Boy Green meets Wudi.
Can you guys help us get a jet chant here? Yeah, going.
Oh.
Okay, right, yeah. Come on in. Yeah.
Okay, let's go! J-E-T-S, jet! Let's go! J-E-T-S, jet! Let's go! There you go!
Third Party Thursday.
Chris joining us here on the program with a capital P here on the program.
Jake Asman, come on down. How you doing, good sir?
Wow, what an intro. I mean, the Boy Green is known for having the intro, but Wudi, that was unreal, man. Thanks for the kind words, son.
We are men of many names.
My favorite Austrian Jets fan right there, baby.
Boy Green
Meets Wudi. Welcome to a special episode of Boy Green Meets Wudi. It is your boy James Wudi. You know I'm Wudi, rocking everywhere. And yes, we got the boy who became king, Mr. Paul Esden Jr., Boy Green himself. But we also, oh God, what was that? Oh my God, I think the lights went out. I'm not sure what's happening here. Oh, wait a second. Is that our guest? The NFL Rookie of the Year. We talking about a 3-time Pro Bowler? Are we talking about a first-team All-Pro, second-team All-Pro, one of the most electric players to ever step on the gridiron? Is that who we're talking about? Well, let's turn the light back on for Lights Out. Shawne Merriman, how you doing?
What's up, fellas, man? That was a hell of an intro, man. I don't know how to top that one.
That's legendary and an absolute honor. Shawne Lights Out Merriman joining us here on the program. Again, one of my favorite players to watch on the football field. And now, Shawne, I mean, obviously you had an electrifying career. I mean, Woody just laid it out there. But you've had an electrifying post-playing career, getting into a variety of aspects. Of course, one of the reasons that we have you here on the show today, Shawne, can you talk about Lights Out Sports TV and this historic partnership with the longest-running college football all-star game of all time in the East-West Shrine Bowl? What's going on here?
Yeah, man. It's been crazy because, you get a chance to do what I did on the field, right? That was like my dream, my goal growing up, and I got a chance to do that at the highest level. And now, launching Lights Out Sports TV, which is my new free ad-supported all sports streaming platform, man. We got a ton of cool sports there. You guys check it out. You can download us on every smart TV there is out there. iOS, Android, get us there, Lights Out Sports TV. But as you mentioned, man, I got, the excitement that we have the 100th annual East-West Shrine Bowl practices. And I've always been a fan of the East-West Shrine Bowl from a distance. And so when I saw the opportunity to get the practices, it was a no-brainer for us, man. I had to make that happen. And I'm glad that they chose us. I'm honored because, the Shrine and what they've done, on the charity side and helping kids and families, man, it's been big. But also, too, we have the biggest confirmed practice list that they've ever had in 100 years, man. Like some of these guys, these top draft picks, Shador is going to be there, and I think Prime is going to be there, and Travis Hunter is going to be there. I think Shador might even be practicing. It's like it's kind of surreal. And as you guys know, man, a lot of these guys are going to be draft picks, and this is their final look for all the scouts and the coordinators and the GMs and just NFL personnel to see them up close. So from the 25th to the 28th, we'll be live on Lights Out Sports TV. But that's going to be a massive deal for us, man. And hopefully this is something that we're going to start to get more collegiate sports and things like that.
Interesting. So you said that it's the biggest practice list ever. Lights Out Sports TV. Coincidence? I think not, Shawne Lights Out Merriman. I think there might be some connective tissue there, my friend, with some of that happening. And again, to your point, again, Lights Out Sports TV will be live streaming all of the East-West Shrine Bowl practices. That has never happened ever before, bringing football fans all across America a step closer. One of the tentpole events leading up to the 2025 NFL Draft. This is historic, Shawne, and this is something really awesome that, again, once again, you're doing for the fans.
No, man, I appreciate that. And it's awesome, dude. But I think one of the biggest things for me is I'm going to have to keep my composure so I can go get me a couple snaps in those pass rushing drills. You know what I mean? So, I'll be there like we'll have one-on-one pass rushes against the offense and defensive linemen, the one-on-one combat and coverage drills with the wide receivers and DBs, 7-on-7, linebackers against running backs. Man, this has been the most interactive and intense practice that anybody's ever seen. And obviously, fortunately, I play ball, so I kind of know what people want to see. So I'm like, okay, get this part right here. The people gonna love this. So it's we're happy that that East West Shrine Bowl and have went with us, and we're hoping that this relationship and partnership continue, and then obviously more and more collegiate sports, man. We definitely want to go after that.
Absolutely. And that insight, like you said, as a former player, is huge, knowing what to focus on, what to cover. I'm definitely looking forward to it on the 25th. But let me ask you, because now today is the 16th, and I'm on the Lights Out TV network right now. And there's a lot of things. I was not expecting. I'm kind of mind blown seeing all the different fields. We got comedies, we got dramas, sports TV series, sports movies, player profiles. Can you talk to us a little bit about how the network itself came to be?
Yeah, man. One, I've been involved in like NASCAR. I used to own a team on the NASCAR Canyon Series with Jesse Awuji's team. So I've been around the motorsports world. I did a big stint with TNA Wrestling about 8 months ago. I did a pay-per-view with them out in Las Vegas where I was a part of that show. Continue to work with those guys. They're on there. Chess. Dude, I didn't even know. Like chess, I wasn't into chess like that. So I started to watch chess because they got all this shoulder programming, the strategy of it. And so now I'm like hooked on chess. And then obviously, as you said, the 300 sports movies and documentaries that's on there, man. We have some of the biggest ones, and we got like over 100 more that's going to be up in the next few weeks. So what I wanted to do, man, and then obviously my MMA league, Lights Out Extreme Fighting, is on there as well. What I wanted to do was, when people come to see all the live events, I wanted them to say, okay, the live event over, whether it's a fight or whether it's a match. We got a lot of combat sports in there. The Women's Rugby Championship just went off a few weeks ago. I wanted them to be able to stay there and watch everything else, right? So we wanted to make sure that they got everything, all sports, nothing against these other platforms, man, but like go watch your politics somewhere else. Go watch your food channel somewhere else. All that stuff is great. But when you come to sports, do you want to go to Lights Out Sports TV?
All right, beautiful. Yeah, Wudi, go ahead. He mentioned, I heard Shawne Lights Out say some wrestling in there.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm a fan of many sports, but my first love was seeing Bret Hart, put the glasses on back in the 90s. And you were I was at WrestleMania 29 in the stands. You was out there at WrestleMania 30. Thought we was going to be able to see some classics in the ring. There's been a lot of crossover there. Pat McAfee, back in the day, Lawrence Taylor. Is there still any hope of Shawne Merriman lights out on the turnbuckle with an elbow drop to like Roman Reigns or something like that?
It's very possible. It's a very, 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 very high possibility. I'll just say that. For me, man, I'm still a fan of Hart. I think anything that you get involved with, you got to be a fan of it first, right? Like before I started playing football, I was a fan of Lawrence Taylor. I was a fan of Barry Sanders and Deion Sanders. Like I was a fan of these guys first, which made me have the love for it. And as you said, man, that kid is in us all, right? When it comes to WWE and wrestling, and that is what a lot of my character and who I became as Lights Out, right, came from, just being a fan of wrestling. But I would, if I was to bet on it, I would put the house that it's a high possibility of me getting back in the ring. So,
oh baby, okay, Shawne Lights Out Merriman, baby, here on the program now. Shawne, I don't know if I've heard you talk about this anywhere else, but of course, again, you were a phenom on the football field, and you have one of the best sack celebration dances of all time, as far as I'm concerned. And I knew it happened with a Jets player this year because I remember tweeting about it. And it happened in the preseason. A Jets player gave a tip of the cap to one Shawne Lights Out Merriman. I'm going to throw it up here on the screen. It's from the preseason. It's our boy Takk McKinley, the former first-round pick here. We're going to, like I said, we're going to throw it up on the screen here. And Shawne, after Takk got the sack here, he ended up doing the Lights Out Merriman celebration here. And I'm curious, as you see this, first off, can you rate Takk McKinley here on the Shawne Lights Out Merriman dance? And also, is it flattering to you when you see players in the league going back to that? Does it bother you like, hey, man, that was my thing, get your own thing? Where are you on Shawne Lights Out Merriman dances, still seeing them in the NFL?
You know, when I saw it, man, I got chills right now watching it.
Ooh.
And you know, the cool thing about that is, like, when I was growing up, we all started by doing somebody's dance. Like, who didn't have that band around their neck, that headband around their neck, and doing primetime dance in the backyard or wherever you was playing? Like, we all did it, right? So I think it's the ultimate sign of respect. And, you know, a guy like him, man, who made a heck of a play, obviously a former first-round draft pick, being able to pass down from, you know, generations like that, man, I just think that's so cool, because that's the way the game should go. I think that, you know, we all look at somebody who we want to model our game after, and that's how we learn to play football, man. So when I saw it, I actually reposted it on social media, man. I got hyped up. I thought it was really cool.
Okay, so there's a shout out to all the sack artists out there. If you don't have enough motivation, get some sacks for all that money. How about to honor the great Shawne Lights Out Merriman, baby? That doesn't hurt. That's for gosh darn sure. Shawne, let's get into there's a lot of crossover in history of some Chargers jumping over to Jets land. I'm going to be honest, selfishly, I was hoping Shawne Lights Out Merriman was going to join that list. I was hoping he was going to come over to the Big Apple too, but you went to a different New York team. Maybe we'll talk about that later. But anywho, I want to talk about some of your former Chargers teammates that jumped over to the Jets. One of them, Antonio Cromartie, and he was one of the most athletic, freakiest guys I've ever seen. I still remember in the back of my head that one-handed interception he had on the Chargers against the Colts. I'll never forget that one. Was he the most athletic, crazy teammate that you ever had?
There's two the most freakish players I've ever played with. One, Vernon Davis in college. He's one. Yeah. And the second is Antonio Cromartie. And the crazy thing about Crow is I played against him at Maryland when he was at Florida State.
Yeah, right.
So I knew all about him. Like, I watched him and then get a chance to play with him. First of all, watch this dude work ethic. He had a sick work ethic. He was always working. But he was so damn athletic and so fast and explosive, he would let guys purposely run by him in practice to catch a ball, just only to catch up to him and show how fast he was. It was just, like, ridiculous. So, you know, guys like that don't come around a whole lot. I think he was 6'2", 6'3". And you just don't see guys built like that, man. And he was he was a freak.
And let me go to another one. LT, LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Again, one of my favorite football players of all time. It was a pleasure to have him here in New York. And actually, we're on the anniversary of one of the greatest moments in my life is the Jets beating the New England Patriots in Foxborough in the playoffs in the year 2011, the season 2010. And LaDainian Tomlinson had this great speech before the game that any man could be beat on any given day. And it just revved everyone up, and the Jets ended up winning. Do you have any good LaDainian Tomlinson stories you can share?
Yeah, man, so many, because we had such a tight group, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons why we won a lot of games. You know, I mean, we were so tight. But one time I was coming back from injury, and I had the injury bug, and I couldn't stay on the field, and I finally got on the field for a long period of time and got over that injury bug. LT told me that if you get 3 sacks in the game, when I first came back, he was going to run on the field in the middle of the field and start dancing, right? And I was like, yeah, right. You know, he's just being funny. It's L. I just thought he was messing around. So we were playing the Raiders, and I'm like 2 sacks in. It's like in the second quarter, I think it was, second or third. So it looked like I was on my way to getting my 3rd sack. I look up, man, and like L's on the 50-yard line, 15 yards on the field, like dancing with his hand up in the listen, I had a visor on. I was laughing so hard that the visor was I had to run off the field because I couldn't see. I was laughing and crying through the visor when I saw L. But just so many great memories, man. And you look back on the times and just being fortunate. And I walked in the locker room with like 3 or 4 Hall of Famers on the team, you know. So you got Antonio Gates and LT, Phillip Rivers should be up here at some point in time. I still believe that Lorenzo Neal is a Hall of Famer in my book. I think that, he's the last of the dying breed. He's blocked for so many different 1,000-yard rushers. I walked in the locker room with these guys, man. So I look back on it now. I was 20, 21 years old walking in. It was insane to have that opportunity.
I just have to say this one more, and then I'll throw it back to Wudi here. The Chargers have one of the most talented teams I will ever remember in my life. You guys should have won a cajillion Vincent Jackson, Darren Sproles. I mean, the names just, again, Chris Chambers, he was on some of those teams. Oh, man. I mean, those Charger team. I mean, I'm wrapped up right now. I want to run through a wall.
You got to understand, practices were harder than the games. Like you're lining up against. Don't forget, like Marcus McNeil, that people don't talk about a lot. Yeah. I mean, he was a multi Pro Bowler, and I see Gates every single day, and Chris Dillman and Nick Harwick. All these guys, man, were just Pro Bowl guys. And by the way, you got to lead block up on Lorenzo Neal. LT is a starter. Guess what? When LT wasn't there, Michael Turner was second, and then we were so damn good. And Darren Sproles is the third string running back, man. That's how low that we were. And so now I think that we had some of the best built teams of that decade, man. And it was really good playing with those guys.
No doubt. Okay, go ahead, Woody.
A lot of memories. Like Boy Green said, positive Jets memories, which have not occurred at any point of the last 14 years. As a matter of fact, right now, right, we don't really have a team. We don't really have a coach. The coaching search is on for the New York Jets, and that's actually part of my question. As a former player, right, somebody who's been in different locker rooms, what type of coach, right, resonates most with you? What do you think the Jets should be looking for out of the 20 candidates that they've already interviewed?
Yeah, so there's a lot, man. I keep up with it, and I do I like the team for the Jets. I like what they got going, and it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of positivity. But when you look behind closed doors and see that they really got some guys in that locker room who can turn things around, I wouldn't look further than Aaron Glenn or Ben Johnson from. I would look inside that Lions organization. I think that if Aaron Glenn is a real possibility to go in it, I would not pass up on that. I think that he brings an attitude. He brings a level of just discipline that those guys need and respect that those guys need. He's very well respected. Guys love him inside that Lions locker room. Another thing, I think that Aaron Rodgers should come back. I think that they should have Aaron Rodgers back there. For one, I don't think you got much to lose. You go out and draft a young guy, bring him in there. We already know that Aaron Rodgers has no problem helping the younger guys out. He knows that that's what he's there for. He's done it for Jordan Love and other guys. And so people can say what they want about Aaron Rodgers, man, but if you got an opportunity as a young guy coming into a locker room to learn from him, you take that. And if I was the Jets, I would bring him back. I think that Aaron Rodgers will have a better year next year than he did this past year because people not I'm speaking from experience. I tore my Achilles. That Achilles takes a full year before you feel like yourself again. Yeah, you can go run, you can go play, but man, popping that thing is always in the back of your head, and being able to get that explosion and being able to push it off, it took a lot longer because he's older to heal. I think that Aaron Rodgers will have a better year next year if they decide to retain him and bring him back. And also, too, go out and draft. Go get you a young guy. Sit him on the bench for 6 weeks. Look at the history of the game and watch, the Patrick Mahomes and all these guys who just sat back a little bit, right? Sat back a little bit and learned. And then, you know what? If Aaron Rodgers don't, turn around and he's not the guy going forward for the rest of the season, no problem. You just drafted a rookie who's learned for several weeks behind one of the best quarterbacks ever did it. You got nothing to lose. So bring back Aaron Rodgers, hire Aaron Glenn, go out and get you a couple pieces, man. And I think that they're off and running.
Okay, there we go, baby. Sign me the hell up for all of that. Lights out. That's for damn sure as far as I'm concerned. Let's bring those guys in. I've been pounding the table for AG. Real quick, we got a couple of people that are watching Uptown Sports TV. Shout out to the panel, Boy Green, my brother Wudi, Shawne Lights Out Merriman, baby, and Dark Soldier with the crew joining us up in here in the building, which we appreciate as well. And so you're not ready for Aaron Rodgers to join you in retirement? You're like, hey, man, let's keep rocking? You think he's got some more juice? Yeah, man. I think he got one more good year in him. And at best, right, he can go out and get you enough to go out and draft that young guy. They got to draft. I wouldn't do anything. I would draft. By the way, a quick comment here. June, the GM, says, looks like you could still play. I'm going to be honest, Sean. That's probably weird for one guy to say to another. You look yoked up, man. You look like you could step on the field right now.
Yeah, I look like it. I don't feel it, but you know, it's cool, man, because I still train with a bunch of my MMA guys who I work with. I mean, I still spar once a week, here and there, and I'm just leaving the gym right now, and I'm going to top rank a little bit later to get me 3 or 4 rounds in one of those heavyweights, man. So I'm still pretty active. But who knows? I got a little left in the tank, man. Get in the ring at some other places.
Okay, but we're gonna see you running those drills in the
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but I'll be out 2 to 4 weeks, man. I only got 1 or 2 good reps in me. That's it.
Okay, I'm looking for that. Again, Lights Out Sports TV. I'm looking for the 5'6" to strap up. I'm like, well, is that Shawne Lights Out Merriman out there going on that pass rush rep? I'll be looking for it. Lights Out Sports TV, the live stream practices for the East West Shrine Bowl practice. I'll be like, where's Lights Out? Where's Shawne Merriman? Where's he at? I'm looking for that rep. I'm gonna go out there, get me a couple reps in for sure. You know that. Okay, beautiful. Well, Sean, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on the show. An absolute treat. Let's give you, again, another opportunity to plug this. This is terrific. Of course, you have this wonderful partnership with the Shrine Bowl, again, the longest running college all-star event of all time here, but also, as Wudi talked about earlier, Lights Out Sports TV exists before, during, and after. Bret Hart always will, forevermore, and everything else in between, baby. So give it to us one more time, Sean.
That's right. Make sure you guys download Lights Out Sports TV. So any smart TV you got out there, we're on there. Download us, iOS, Android. We're on all those platforms. But make sure you tune into these practices January 25th to the 28th, starting at 8:30 a.m. I think Central Time it is in Dallas, right? I think that's Central
right.
Time.
Yep.
So we start then 90-minute practice for the East and West. But this will be the most entertaining, interactive practice that anyone has ever seen, and got some great hosts, great interviews, great exclusive interviews. Watch the list of people, man, that's going to be here at these practices this week. It's just going to be awesome.
Well, Sean, I hope this is the first of many for you in this partnership with the Shrine Bowl, because, again, it's the first time it's ever happened. We hope it's not the last time it's ever happened, because I think you guys are going to be trailblazing here, and a lot of people are going to be tuning in to what you guys have going on. So lights out, baby. Thank you so much for joining us here on the show.
You got it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Give him one.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Straight. Thanks, Sean. We appreciate you, man. So shout out to Shawne Merriman for joining us. Look at that.
Absolute legend.
Holy friggin' crap. We just had Shawne Lights Out Merriman on the show, man.
Absolute legend. Oh my gosh. That was
I'm going to throw these super chats up one more time. Again, let's go back to Uptown Sports TV, $9.99. Shout out to the panel boy, and my brother Wudi. So again, every time we get a super chat. Wow. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So Uptown Sports TV, sending that in. God bless. And then you could join me in here, Wudi, with Dark Soldier. Hit him with a crew. Wow. Dark Soldier boy. Again, I just Shawne Lights Out Merriman, the sack dances, all of it. He was, again, you mentioned it, Wudi, electrifying personality on the football field. It's so cool because, if we're having an honest and serious conversation here, Wudi, a lot of players struggle with their transition from their playing days to what the hell happens next, right?
Definitely.
Before coming on, I watched this Shawne Merriman Lights Out highlight video of him doing like Ray Lewis style, his like lights out dance to get on the field and the blood pumping through his veins and the fans going crazy. That's a near impossible void to fill once you're in your normal life. Again, if Sean wants, hell, I mean, if he's going to the gym, I'll start going, Shawne Lights Out. I'll give him a whole introduction if he wants. And I will do that for the rest of his life. But I would imagine most times that's not happening. So, it's hard sometimes for these players to transition from the exciting gladiator coliseum of what they do to normal lives. But boy, Sean has set the bar, drawn the line in the sand, it set the standard, quite frankly, for players of how you can still attack I call it the game of life, but life and everything else that's beyond football with the same vigor, the same intensity that he did on the football field. It's so cool, all the stuff he's doing. And Lights Out Sports TV, the partnership specifically with the East-West Shrine Bowl, it's the nation's oldest college all-star football event and the longest running. It's right up there with the Senior Bowl, and it's going to be a great opportunity, specifically for Jet fans. A lot of Syracuse guys are going to be there. Kyle McCord, LaQuint Allen. He mentioned some of the big boys. Deion Sanders going to be flying by. Travis Hunter, Shadur Sanders. I mean, there's going to be a lot of action going on, and all those practices will be live streamed again on Lights Out Sports TV. That's pretty cool. And shout out as well, Fastest Food Reviews, a.k.a. Chef Kelvin Gilbert with a super chat, baby.
Wow.
So cool, man. So cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I feel like, I had to come down from the high. Now I'm back. I'm back up. I'm back.
Okay.
I was because it's just a high talking to these A1s, and like you said, right? It is a rarity what he has done, drawing the line in the sand, post playing to accomplishing all he's done, and still aiming to do. I mean, the man is still, he's 40 years young, right? And I cannot wait to see him drop that elbow on Roman Reigns or whatever comes next. But for right now, the next thing on the docket is this East-West Shrine Bowl. So that is in 9 days, and we got some super exciting things ahead. I cannot wait to see what he cooks up next.
By the way, before we move on, Wudi, he brought up TNA and the wrestling background, and then you brought up the WWE. Does Shawne Merriman have something cooking? It sure sounded like he's about to be entering the squared circle.
Sure did. That's what I'm saying. I can't wait to see what happens there. That is my first love. Right? Anybody who knows me, personally, that is wrestling. It was number one, and then everything else kind of fell from there. But I will definitely be tuned in to wherever he ends up, whichever squared circle he ends up in, whether it's TNA, AEW, WWE, all the above. I will have my eye right there, just like that, right there. Have my eye on it.
By the way, shout out to everyone who sent in super chats. By the way, those all will give you raffle tickets to our contest at the end of the month. So we appreciate just you guys saluting us and giving us support for the show. That obviously means a lot. All of that will go towards the raffle ticket. So Chef Kevin Gilbert, you got yourself a raffle ticket. Dark Soldier, Crew, you got yourself a raffle ticket, and as well as we got 3 raffle tickets for Uptown Sports TV. For every $2.99 spent, you get a raffle ticket. Again, we'll be giving away a wonderful prize at the end of January here, and I'll throw it up here on the screen real quick. Boy Green Merch Shop gift card, $50, custom laser engraving package, and that Nike Atmosphere Aaron Rodgers Heather Gray jersey, all up for grabs for one lucky winner. And again, if you have at least one raffle ticket, you have a chance to win the whole shish kebab. And obviously, the more raffle tickets you have, the better chances you have of it. So I want to give a shout out to all those people. And that's just the other thing, as we're going to be wrapping up the show here in a minute or two. Dave Briggett said, hard to believe the Chargers of that era could not get over the top. And, that's the sad part about it, is he was talking, again, there are names I even forgot. He's mentioned names. I'm like, holy freaking crap, right, they had that guy. And then that guy. I'm pretty sure Bob Sanders was on one of those teams, too, after coming over from the Colts. So, I mean, shoot, they had a lot of talent on those teams. Again, it'll always be the NFL. What coulda, shoulda, woulda happened, because, again, those teams should have won a lot of championships. The damn Patriots stepping in their way. But, salute to those Chargers teams. That's when people tell me who are the most talented teams that didn't win a championship, people bring up those 98 Vikings, a lot of other teams. A team I will always bring up are those 2000 Chargers. That's like 2000, like 3-4 on. Marty Schottenheimer and crew and all that talent. Those are the names I'll always remember there, Woodster.
Definitely. Like we've all acknowledged, a lot of Hall of Fame talent there. I think my biggest takeaway from our whole time today was his input on the Hall of Fame talent in the Jets. All right. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, You guys have crucified me for wanting to keep this man next year. How could you? How would you? Oh my God, Rudy, why do you think these things? But I have been validated. I have been validated by this NFL legend, Shawne Merriman himself. said the exact same things that I was trying to say. That A, the recovery, he will look better next year than he did this year, and then B, mentorship, and he still has more in the tank. And then Aaron Glenn, very, very kind words for Aaron Glenn.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah,
right? Like we didn't ask him an Aaron Glenn question. We just asked insert question, and he brought up Aaron Glenn. I'm like, whoa, oh snap, okay, wow.
Yes. I don't know. I mean, Flores has been number one for a long time, but AG's climbing. He's climbing the ranks. Exactly that. So, now it was. This was definitely an absolute banger of an episode, right? Think about this show. What's happened? 1 year, right? So now we're 1 year and 1 week from the first ever episode. And now what are we doing this episode? I mean, I appreciate every single one of you guys in the comments. And of course, the boy who became king. Appreciate you, Boy Green.
Yeah, and I want to let you guys know, I saw you guys had a lot of awesome questions, and I'm sorry I couldn't get to everybody. Shawne, unfortunately, had a limited amount of time, but I hope that the feeling was mutual. We thought the interview was awesome. Hopefully, Shawne thinks so, too. And if so, we'll definitely try to get Lights Out back in the future, because I'd love to ask a lot of the questions you guys had about his playing career and injuries that he dealt with. You guys had a lot of great questions. Like I said, unfortunately, we only had a limited amount of time, but hopefully we could get Lights Out back in the future, because that was a bucket list item there, Wudi, to talk to Lights Out. That was absolutely cool. So shout out to Take Flight today and Brent, because by the way, that speaking of bangers, that brand new intro, hey now, whoop, el salute to el presidente. That intro makes me feel real proud. That Lights Out got to see that, and everybody else who's been on the show. So Take Flight today. A salute to you, my good sir. Okay.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Wudi, any final thoughts
on
this wonderful historic episode?
Gratitude. I think I just said it, so I don't want to, mess up the words that I said before. I'll just end it by saying, hey, everybody watching, this man right here, I hope everybody has a great rest of their day.
All right. We'll be back on for Boy Green Daily tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Make sure you guys always tune into Boy Green Meets Wudi. It is a YouTube playlist. You guys can watch every other episode in the series history that's on the Boy Green Meets Wudi playlist on YouTube. Make sure you guys check that out. And we'll be back on again every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 o'clock. We will see you guys tomorrow morning for a Friday morning edition of Boy Green Daily at 7:30. And you guys will be able to catch clips of this show on both of our social medias at the James Wudi and at BoyGreen25. That is contributor for JetNation.com's handsome himself, James Wudi, and I am the humble Paul Liston Jr. God bless. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Take care.